For me, one of the things that's so important in life is when we're really challenged with something, music helps a lot. Music is a great way to go into a difficult place. Music is a great way to calm down. Music is a great way to be challenged. I work with interdisciplinary gatherings of people with places where imagination is called for, particularly in zones of crisis, which you can define in lots of directions. I'm kind of some being that exists and hovers in the heart of those kind of possibilities. I was hired by singers for my first work, and those singers worked at Emmanuel Church in Boston, and there's a Bach cantata every Sunday. Those Bach cantatas are a musical 12-step program for how to deal with whatever is destroying your life. And at Emmanuel, it was a real thing to be talking people down from a bridge. So you're really dealing with people in need, and this music of Bach just goes right inside the zone of struggle. And that music of that kind of melancholy, which doesn't solve it, but encourages you to go deeper into it. Sadness and grief is not an affliction, but a blessing that's inviting you to another level of perception and awareness. Part of grieving is getting quiet enough that you can hear their voices and you can hear your own inner voices and go into what we call deep listening, which is what grieving is. And grieving is also new growth by emptying some things and making the space for new growth. And also by appreciating somebody in ways you never could when they were with you. And then you actually get a deeper sense of who they were and who they are. Speaking personally, and I know people here have experiences, I couldn't be with my dad when he died. We couldn't be anywhere near each other. What does it mean that somebody leaves the world alone? Well, none of us achieve what we're here to do in one lifetime. For me, when somebody you treasure is gone, yes, there's a space made, but also, what of their work and their being will you continue? Because it's over to you now. And whatever somebody left incomplete as some part of the beginning of a vision, you're here to continue. So often people push things away and say, that's too much, I can't feel all that. So don't keep holding on to it tightly. Breathe inside it and let it breathe inside of you. And realizing every one of your breaths is also shared by the people who left. And so breathing with them and letting your breath be a shared breath and feeling deeply all the invisible presences that are still there. Like even if you're living in another city from your mother, half the day you're still in conversation with her. You're just going round and around and around on something. I'm mostly looking at the world and saying, what is missing from this picture? What could we add to this and would acknowledge something that's not being acknowledged? How can minimum 20 million people disappear from the earth in 2 years, very violently, from COVID, and nobody remark on it? Where's the ceremony? Where was some kind of social, public thing that said, we're losing people close to us? What does it mean that people are dying and no one is saying goodbye to them? And to me, the official blank or level of denial that COVID generated was just so shocking. So I really wanted to make a ceremony. I was really, really looking deeply for music that could respond to COVID. At Emmanuel Church, they did a lot of Schütz, these incredible motets. And I found an old Emmanuel record at the second week of COVID. And I thought, wow, this music is incredible. It goes right through you. And Heinrich Schütz is writing music at an incredible time. He would write these amazing Psalms of David, which had hundreds of singers, these multiple choruses, this incredible feast of sound coming from all directions, and this, like you're in a universe that is just surging. And then 1635, the plague and the 30 Years' War. And he has to write a piece for 24 singers because everyone else is dead. For me, that was so powerful that COVID was just the depletion of all kinds of sustained social life. So all that stuff was really swimming. And of course, this piece from 1635, Schütz calls it musikalische Exequien, which is like a musical exit. So we called it Music to Accompany a Departure. But when I proposed this project, it was unbelievably challenging. We started rehearsing, and this was way too close to everybody. So the second rehearsal turned into everybody sitting in a big circle of chairs and us going around person by person. Some people started telling stories of what they've just been living through. The session became so powerful. And from that, we really started working. This is what I really believe art is about. There are Tibetan traditions where everything you do, you dedicate to someone. When you're having a spoonful of soup, you dedicate that to somebody who has no soup. It's just a way of being conscious of what you have, what you don't have, and how is a blessing going to be shared. But it's also, who do you want to remember as you sing this next phrase? And who do you want to offer that phrase to? And as soon as you're not thinking purely selfishly, your action has all this other dimensionality. And so the quality of the singing changes when you're dedicating your singing to that person or to those people. So gradually the process of rehearsing turned into this very intense experience for all of us. It's about everybody bringing everything they needed to bring and laying it on the altar for someone. Let the emptiness open your feelings way up. Give yourself a huge space to feel. Give yourself a huge mindset that knows no limits, and realize how wide open everything is. And let yourself be wide open to the wind, to the rain, to whatever, because you yourself are bringing change into the world. Life is in front of us, not behind us. So music puts you in that state to imagine flowering, that some part of your soul is in bloom, some part of your soul is flowering and aromatic and colors that no camera can photograph. Like flowers in the sunlight, what? I mean, those colors are totally synesthetic, leading you to total bliss. And we are all creatures of bliss. Hello?